You may think Lego is just a fun, family-friendly product where you can get out your bricks, build whatever you want, and have fun with your family, right? Well, do I have news for you. Your kids may be, quote-unquote, playing with some of these, quote-unquote, toys. We are going to deep dive into the top, we have about 7 darkest Lego sets that we could find. I can't believe that I'm actually joined by, it's honestly kind of like mind-blowing. I'm joined by my co-host, Daniel Lewa. He's right over here. What are your thoughts today?
Even though Halloween has already passed, we're getting into winter, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, and so it's appropriate that we get talking about these creepy things that we're like, should these really have been in Lego sets? But, it wasn't our call, and now we can just laugh about it later.
Yes, winter is here, and in Norse mythology, hell is cold. Starting off with the first one, this is called Mala's Ice Mammoth Stomper. Okay, it looks innocent at first, right? Well, I have news for you. Let's take a deeper look at the minifigures. Okay, look at the box first and foremost. This says 8 to 14. Would you want your 8-year-old playing with a minifigure that has exposed elephant cartilage coming out of its nose? Yes or no? These minifigures are a little bit uncanny, let's be honest. I don't know what wave of Chima this was, but they are icy and have exposed flesh, bolted together skulls, and just exposed bones all around. It's a little bit weird.
That makes it kind of part of the fun, right? Because usually figures are not half animal hybrids, and when they are, usually they're not having their flesh torn open. So the fact that this does have that is really bizarre, and the fact that it kind of looks like a woolly mammoth bone is in its trunk isn't completely anatomically correct, but neither is a half human, half mammoth hybrid, so we'll cut it some slack.
Next up on our list may look a little bit familiar. Darth Vader's transformation. Have you guys seen Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith? If you haven't, let me just give you a brief little recap. Anakin Skywalker falls into lava, gets his limbs cut off, and is burning and dying until Palpatine comes and saves him, right? And then what does he do, Daniel?
And then he burns alive. Well, he's totally repaired and put like cybernetic enhancements, and then he screams and he's like all disfigured and burned, and it's pretty graphic, and it's all on display right here.
Yeah, and they actually want to go through the act of getting the disgruntled Anakin. Look at his limbs, his legs, they're gray from the bottom down, basically implying that they have been cut off. Not only that, he's screaming for his wife, who has now passed away from childbirth during this process. Let's go ahead and replay and rebuild that fun memory, right? You do get a Palpatine minifigure, which is pretty cool. Next up on our list, jump scare, monster fighters. This one does say 14 and up, so we do cut him a little bit of slack, but 14 years old is still a minor. What's wrong with this one?
Usually chefs cook with a lot of condiments, but we're not quite sure if what's on his shirt is ketchup or not. It's a little interesting that they chose to go with what looks like a dark red, light brown color splattered all over his shirt, but probably just ketchup. Just ketchup.
Would you feel okay with your kid playing with this? A chef zombie with mysterious various red liquids splattered on his shirt. And zombies are known for what? Eating people. On a similar note, here's another Monster Fighter set. Maybe you think this is kind of minor. That can't be lipstick on this bride. Look at the back of her head. That has to be blood. Why? Because this set is literally called The Zombies. By the way, where'd the 14 and plus go? This is for 8-year-olds. This bride was on her wedding day. Something happened, and she's eating people.
This has got to be the most messed up Lego theme. Like, I know it's nostalgic for a lot of people, but this is crazy. The one eye being like all saggy and droopy, and then the other eye being blood red with all this like smeared lipstick everywhere, a torn dress and everything. Like, it's pretty graphic as far as Lego goes. I would say this is the most graphic minifig.
Yeah, definitely. And it's even just sadder knowing it was her wedding day. And you're even encouraged in the set to hit them with a hammer and kill them. This is the set that kind of inspired us to film this video. Shout out to my uncle, Kevin. He gave me a bunch of free Legos. This was one of them. And I was so excited. I always wanted it. When you're building this, I was like, did I just get transferred to the world of Doom Eternal in the pits of hell? Because look Okay, let's go to the second picture. This look at down here. There's a trap door where you're supposed to remove the pin, the trap door falls, and you fall into a rotating, organic, flesh-eating pit surrounded by lava. We're supposed to imagine that happening with a minifigure. And we're supposed to replay and reenact that. The bloody saw doesn't help, and just the overall satanic imagery just doesn't help with the clown on top. Do I personally really like this set? Yes, I think it's cool. Do we want our 7-year-olds doing this?
It's up there. Yeah, like the way you described it is very distinct and brings a lot of imagery to mind. I don't know what they were thinking, and of course, we don't know how this was portrayed in the show Nexo Knights from many years ago, but it's gotta have been pretty wild.
Yeah, maybe to their credit, maybe you're supposed to save them before the pit falls and they fall into the rotating organic. I don't know. Is it conscious? Is the beast conscious? It has a mouth. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. Pretty messed up. Speaking of messed up, Enslaving Big Figs. This, a little bit of backstory. When I was a kid, 8, 9, whenever this theme came out, I really wanted this set. We went on a family road trip to Denver for my father's work trip. We went to the Denver Lego store. This set was on display in a glass case. I told my mom that I wanted it. She said it was a little too dark and messed up and I couldn't have it. Period. So I couldn't get this one. Maybe it was for the better. If you look closely, you can see that this troll is being basically manipulated to carry the cart. He has a meat on a stick. What kind of meat is it? I don't know. We're assuming it's chicken. Incentivizing him to walk forward. Will he ever get that meat? Probably not. If he doesn't walk, there's a nice row of spikes behind him to give him a little more incentive, if you know what I'm saying. This is not cool, Lego. Cancel it with the enslaving the big figs and trolls. They have rights as well.
Yeah, it's just sad. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you have to wonder what goes through the designer's minds. And is it like, well, is this really that big of an issue? Yeah, maybe not. But even just the idea of like, a living being who's chained up and is being goaded along to pull this war machine. That's pretty dark for a toy.
This one is like, I don't know what they were thinking, and it made it all the way to shelves. But because even if it was an animal, it would be messed up. Like if it was a horse with spikes and a carrot in front of it, that'd be kind of messed up, right? But this is like more of a bipedal conscious being, And then for our number one, what do you think it is? We'll take guesses. 3, 2, 1. Daniel, what is our number one?
It's the most graphic scene, arguably one of the most graphic scenes in all of Star Wars, where Anakin slaughters all the Tusken Raiders that kidnapped his mom. And then just that premise alone and the scene is pretty intense. Like, it's pretty tame in the movie just because they don't show anything, really. It's PG-13. But the fact that you have a Lego set based off of that exact scene, Anakin's holding out his lightsaber, the Tusken Raiders are standing right there. That's pretty sad. Yeah. So not a scene that I would readily want to be remaking anytime on my, living room carpet floor.
Like, tell me honestly, what is the point of movie-based sets like Lego Star Wars and Lego Harry Potter? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's so you can kind of replay and reenact your favorite scenes from the movie. Or, they don't have to be your favorite scenes, but parts of the movie. This is a part of the movie that we don't want the 7-year-olds reenacting, right? I'm not saying it's a bad part of the movie. It was really emotional and it was really sad and it was integral to Anakin's development. Do we want our 7 to 12-year-olds slaughtering these Tusken Raiders? Probably not. The box art definitely does not help, or the box art, the way that it's formatted, like Daniel said, with his lightsabers literally out and angled and ready to attack. He's not just visiting them, he's already attacking them with the lightsaber is activated. Do you guys...
And just his dead-eyed stare and smile, it makes it all the worse.
Yeah, because nowadays he would, if there was a modern minifigure, he would have been glaring and evil and ready. So okay, that's a little too much. But now since he just has a regular Bob face, they're just like, oh, it's fine. He's not doing it. Do you guys think this is the number one messed up Lego set? If you have any other ones, feel free to put them in the comments. We may have missed some. This is just something that we thought of. For the record, I am not against any of these sets being made. Personally, I sometimes really do like the darker imagery sets. They're kind of fun to me. But we thought this would be a fun video to kind of show some of the weirder sets that have been made. Anyways, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and we're just going to make a plethora of videos in the future. Who do you like more, Daniel or Matthew? Leave it in the comments. We'll see you guys in the next week. Later.